today we have Miss
DARA.
DARA. She's going to be joining me today as we, touch more so on a spiritual level, the struggles of life, just day by day things that we go through. And one of the things that I really want to touch on, and my mom gave me this topic earlier today. I was having such a rough, when I say I was having a rough week, and from Thursday until today, everything just really went left. And I started to look at, other people, like, why did this happen to me? Or just kind of question it. And my mom said, you know what? The topic that she gave me is find the you in your name. Mind you, my name is Ravonne. I don't have a you. But understanding what that you and you means says a lot. Understanding just who you are and the struggles of day to day, still finding yourself and all of that just overall. I want to ask you, as far as your daily struggles, you're a mom, job, just day-to-day events, like how do you manage to continue to move on with day-to-day struggles and still keep a sound mind?
Yeah.
Like how does that, like for most people, what does that look like for you? Because for me, it's a struggle. It was a struggle for me, even to get to this point. It was a struggle. You know what I mean? So I look at it, I want to look at it from your point of view. Like, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I honestly just keep God first.
Yes.
In all of it, right? He's the one that provides us strength to sustain. He provides us the peace in the storm every single morning, right? I talk to him throughout the day because I know it's just me and my two kids. I don't have that second person to lean on for that support. So just knowing to go to God every single time and walking with him, knowing that he's going to get us through the day, that his glory is bigger than our problems and he's going to solve them regardless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. And that's one thing that, I try to follow. But at the end of it all, we are all still human. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those emotions can be very overwhelming. Just a little backstory of where I've been. Y'all get the real today. A backstory of why I was taken back. I sat down for a while, and I've always knew my calling. I've always knew what God wanted me to do, but it was just like, you don't know how to speak clearly. You don't know how to manage this, or if you do this, you wouldn't understand it properly. So I always had the spirit of fear. So the spirit of fear kept me away from a lot of things that I wanted to do in life overall. With that, even in, past relationships that I had, I've pretty much lost friends, lost relationships, and I almost got in this little depressed mode, you know what I mean? And yeah, they say have faith, trust, and believe in God, but as human and having these emotions, it was kind of hard for me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you could give someone that advice, say for instance, they're going through a situation right now, they don't know which way to go, but they are turning to God, like mentally, what are some things that you would suggest for them to do to get to there, to help them or motivate them in that situation to move forward?
Yeah, I think I would movement is a big way to keep your body going. It keeps your mind fresh. Journaling is another great way. I would use journaling when I get stuck. I write my late husband. Sometimes I write him a letter. I'll write God a letter. Like just getting those emotions out on paper, whether you rip them up, throw them away, right? It's just to get it out. So then you don't get it out on other people around you, because that's what the tendency is we get bottled up with hard emotions from whatever we're dealing with, and the next person's going to end up reaping whatever comes, right? But if we can write them down, working out is another great way. That works for me, honestly, is like staying in the gym. It keeps my mind fresh.
Yeah.
Or reading, like anything that can provide you a sense of peace and calmness to sit with your emotions. A lot of people are scared to sit in quietness because it's awkward, right?
And it can be scary.
It's so scary.
It can be so scary. You're like, who is that? Is that you, God? Okay. Look, yes, it can, I understand that. I really understand that. And I know you say your late husband, like, you want to
Yes.
talk about that?
So my husband passed away 3 years, almost 4 years ago. So 2021, it was through COVID. It was hard. We've been together since I was 18 years old. We've been married 12 years, have 2 beautiful babies. But to be honest, as heartbreaking as it is, I found my purpose. And God walked me through it step by step. It's the most beautiful thing. And to know that I'll see him again in a new space is going to be the most beautiful thing, right? And it's provided me to find out who I am in this. So it's been so beautiful, and I just love to share about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the fact that we are, like, I know how I am when I'm going through a breakup with him on earth. You know what I mean? So that shows so much power and character within you, you know, to be able to still be that mom to your children, because you still have children that you have to be here for. You still have to work and provide to be here, you know, for all of that all around the table. Like, wow, that is a testimony within itself. And I'm glad you shared that, because it's a lot of people, you know, they think their situations are worse, you know what I mean? But if you were to step in other people's shoes, Lord have mercy, the shoes gonna be either too big or they gonna be too small.
You know, they tell you to put like everybody's problems in the middle and then race. You're gonna probably end up picking up your own problems before you pick up anybody else's.
Exactly, and that's a lot.
Yeah.
So, I wanna stay there. I want to stay there and dig deeper, like, because you're actually helping me. Like, how? Like, what did that process look like? Because a lot of people think because how I look today, that everything went by so smooth. You know, you have these people that think healing is beautiful. Like, you will find me probably tonight snotting, crying and stuff like what did that process? Because I know when I'm even still in fasting. I know through my fasting, I took 3 days, and I told a couple of people this. I took 3 days. Didn't eat, didn't nothing. Every time I had the temptation to do this certain thing, I had to go to God. And I know what that looked like for me. I know the feeling. It was a struggle. Like, God, I'm pacing around the house. I'm like, I can't do this. I got to find something. I don't want to turn to wine. I don't want to turn to alcohol. You know what I mean? An alternative or nothing, just to cover up the feel, because it's going to come back. So what did that process really, like, deep down?
It was rough. It was so rough. I remember when he had passed, I didn't stay with him long because the Holy Spirit told me, you need to go home. It's done. And I left because my babies weren't there. My babies were at our house. So I had left. I went back. But before he had passed, I had whispered in his ear that I won't quit for our babies. And if I cry, he had a tear. He had a tear come down, and then I walked away, and that was it. And so it's just like I hold on to that moment every single time, but transitioning after that, grief is hard. Like, I will tell you, I beg God to come get me all the time. I cried myself to sleep. I said, I don't know what you got to do, but come get me and my babies. I can't do this by myself. It was like I couldn't get out of bed for the longest time. Like I said, I wanted to die. Like, I didn't want to be here no more. And then finally just something clicked and was like, you can't let him down. And more importantly, you can't let your babies down. They didn't deserve this. You know,
Yes,
so it's
yes.
just like that constant reminder, and then just continuing to hear God. Like I heard him so clearly throughout the process, just like, I got you, keep going. And that's what really, thanks. That's what really just kept me going, is just knowing like I don't got nobody, my babies are depending on me, but God's gonna get me through it, because he ultimately did that for my husband. He heard my prayers, right? I
Right.
prayed that he be healed and delivered, and he
Yes,
was. It
yes,
just
yes.
wasn't how I wanted it to look like.
Yes.
But God still got what he wanted done, right? And he's continued to favor us and bless us in so much.
Oh, girl.
It's beautiful.
I need some of this, because I know I still struggle from, I'm not going to even call it, because I'm winning. I'm winning, but there are still those spots.
Oh, yeah.
And I can only imagine, like, oh my goodness, the type of strength that you have right now. Oh my goodness, can we just throw it to the camera, y'all? No. This is like unimaginable strength. Like, this is real. And we all can have this type of strength if we just follow, like, and trust in him.
Absolutely.
All it takes is a mustard seed of faith. You know what I mean? And you continue to walk by faith and not by sight. And I say this all the time, and I have to tell myself this every day. It might not look like what you want it to look like, but at the end, you get your greater reward.
Absolutely.
Yes, girl, this is...
And the most of it is you have to surrender your ego every single time.
That's it.
Like, I remember being in the hospital, and that was one thing that he spoke so clearly. He said, you will not go back in there with your husband and be with him until you go and apologize and pray with every person you may have a wrong or an outing with. And it was the most humbling experience to set your ego aside and be like, I don't know what it is that happened, but can I pray for you? And I'm sorry. And so that transpired before everything. So now it's just knowing that, like, I'm not walking, and my ego is not going to serve me at all. It doesn't serve him at all. He wants us to walk in the Spirit, you know, and we have to surrender that, though, every single day, right? Like, even 2 days ago, I honestly went to the gym. I'm crying. Like, I had a dream, and I woke up just heartbroken. Like, dang, this is really my life? Like, 4 years later, you're just like, he's really not coming back. Like, that's how grief hits you at times.
Yes.
But I continue to move. I took my kids to school. I went to gym. I'm crying. I'm sitting there squatting, crying. I went to the bathroom, got myself like, okay, I could hear my husband be like, you got to keep moving.
You got to keep moving.
Went back out there just crying, thinking like, if someone gives me a hug, I'm just going to let it out, right? But see, that's like the part of being not in your ego, right? I'm showing vulnerability to the core. Like, I don't care if y'all see me cry. Y'all can't take nothing more from me, right? And God delivered me from what I thought was the worst thing to happen, right? To lose your spouse, your best friend, and you delivered me from then. You pulled me up out of there to this. Y'all can't take me down anymore, even if I cry in front of y'all.
Oh, that is deep. And this, you are really talking to me, because I do have the ego. I'm not going to claim it, but that is a big one for me, because I know I have my ways of, I'm not going to say sorry, I did my part. I'll pray for you from a distance, but God, if you tell me to go hold hands with this person and pray for them after whatever, that's kind of hard, you know? That's kind of hard for me. And I'm glad that you are actually sharing this with me, because this was intentional. This was meant to happen. Again, like I was telling you earlier, I had no one. I was going to sit here, and I was talking to my mom. I was like, I don't even know how to talk to the camera by myself. Like, I practice at home. I was practicing at home. I was like, Mom, I don't even know how to look at the camera and just talk to myself, hold a conversation to myself. How am I supposed to go up here, you know, and just talk to myself? So I called Tevin. I need some help. What we gonna do? I have backup, but not. We gonna cough on that. But it was ordained for you to be here, and I am so blessed. I'm so thankful that he has aligned us to be here today, as though it wasn't nothing but God to be here. Because again, you know, I came here to talk about my struggles, you know, and why I was not, you know, performing and walking in his grace as I was supposed to before, you know, all the distractions, all, you know, leaning on my own and want everything done in my time. And he's breaking me now. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the form of, I'm transitioning. You know, he spoke to me those 3 days. He spoke to me and he was just like, you either gonna do it or I'm gonna make you do it. So there's no at this point. So I'm like, okay. One thing happened after another. One thing happened after another. Instead of me just taking heed to what he's saying, when I said I went through a spiritual warfare, no sleep. I was living by myself, and I thought it was just because, hey, you know, I'm just not comfortable. It's just something about, you know, where I am.
Yeah.
And I've been dealing with this for a long time, and then I moved with my mother. I started sleeping for a minute, and she noticed that. She was just like, okay, well, you're sleeping a little bit. Then went back, no sleep. And you know how they be like, okay, I guess they call it devil's drawing your back, where you're hearing stuff but you can't move.
Oh, absolutely.
So I kept having those, like still not sleeping, and then balancing. You know, I got into a relationship. I wouldn't say just bad timing for me. So now that the demons that I'm carrying, I'm bringing it into this relationship, possibly ruining this person as well, and still ruining friendships instead of just taking a pause. Hey, looking at myself. I knew that, but it's like, no, not right now. This is what I want. I finally got, God, you know, I prayed for this man. He's here now. I'm good. That's the spirit I had. And it was just like, no, I gave you this man. You're going to allow him to lead. You're going to sit back. You're going to close your mouth. But me, I'm still independent. I can do this, and that, and I'm running my mouth, you know. So even when it came to the relationship, God was dealing with me through the relationship. He dealt with me through the entire process. And I finally broke down. So the entire time that I'm sitting back on everything, you know, he reached out to me. Tevin reached out to me like months and months ago. I said, I'll let you know I'm ready. Him not even knowing that I'm going through this spiritual warfare, like I'm not knowing at the time. I'm going through this spiritual warfare and stuff like that. And it was just the first time that you seen us here.
Wow.
I think it was like a week or two before then. I was just like, you know what? Okay, I'm ready. And before, I was just doing something. But now I feel like that if I could do anything, I would do this for his glory, because everybody has a story to tell and a testimony to share with everyone, and it can reach anybody. You never know who needs it. So that's where I am today when it comes to the podcast and when it comes to just in my walk. So
that's beautiful, because you're going to inspire so many women, or people in general, right? But women, we connect. So you're going to inspire so many people to know, like, I can walk away from this relationship even though I prayed for it. And it's like God didn't say that you couldn't have it. He just wants you to wait first, because he wants you to put him first. He's going to bring you more later. Like, there's such an abundance that I believe he wants for everybody, but we have to be obedient to what he's asking.
So I want to ask you another question. I'm going into the series, you know, of dating and relationships and, you know, spiritual realm of the dating, and how does that affect, you know, trying to move forward? Do you ever see yourself dating again and being open to it? And
a lot of people ask me that. I am open to it. Like, I believe in love again. Like, he was my soulmate, right? But it was also in a different phase of my life. I was 18 to 30 when he passed, and now I'm like in my 30s, so it's gonna look different. I do believe in it again, and that's another beautiful thing. So before him and I got together, his girlfriend actually passed. And so just seeing his process and seeing how he grieved during our relationship, it's almost like this is a full circle. So I do believe in it again. I do believe in love, but I'm very patient with it because I have 2 children,
of course,
that will be impacted. And you have to think, this man, if God brings me one, will be in their life longer, right? He's going to have to teach my child how to be a young man. He's going to have to teach my daughter how a man treats a woman.
Exactly.
You know, and so just navigating through that is is difficult at times, because there's times where you're like, I really want to be with someone, but I'm just not willing to settle. And I know God's timing is perfect.
Of course.
And I've walked in my own strength for so long that at this point I'm so patient with it. You know, like whoever he brings, I'm cool. If he doesn't, I'm also super cool with that. You know, it's just like whatever you got, I'm cool.
Oh, this is so humbling for me, because it's just so humbling, and I can see a different side of the dating life, a different side of, you know, just knowing that it's going to be okay. It's easier said when, you know, somebody's on the outside looking in. But to know, now you can have a visual, like you just sitting here with the visual to as a reminder to me, like, it's really going to be okay. Like, she done been through worse. I don't know where I would be mentally right now. If that was a thing, you know, for me. And it, you know, that's years. And I'm crying even if it's a year, you know what I mean? Aww. You know, so this you are so blessed. You are so blessed. You are filled with the Spirit. Yes. And I want you to continue to walk in that, you know, grace. I can see his love all over you.
Oh, good.
I can see his love all over you, and you speaking it, and I can feel it. And it fill me up. Let's touch again. Fill me up, please. And I'm so happy that you were able to come and talk to me today. It was amazing.
Thank you so much. I love this so much. Yes.
So you're gonna come back.
Yes,
right?
girl.
You're gonna come back. Is there anything you would like to tell the people, you know, last words, anything that you can say to encourage them, if there's any social media you want them to follow or anything?
Just believe in yourself. I know that's so cliche, but believing in who you are and finding who you are and falling in love with who you are, especially who God has created you to be. And just don't give up on that person, because he or she deserves all the love and everything that God has for them.
Oh, that is deep. And the fight.
The fight.
We're going to end it with the fight. Yes, that is what it is. The fight is going to be the toughest thing you will have to do. It's easier to give up. It's easier to walk out. It's easier to throw in the towel. But it's the fight, ultimately.
It's the fight.
Y'all, this wasn't even supposed to happen today. I'm just going to be honest. But this aligned. I keep saying this. It aligned just right. And this is really real talks. I usually, most of the time, y'all see me have cards. Y'all see me have something. This is really real talk. And I am back. I am better. And I will use this platform. If it can reach anybody, I pray that it touches those that it touches, if it's meant for you. And that's a wrap. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, on the next episode of Ravonne'S.